Hello YouTube, this is EtaCarinaPhenix, and I'm going to be teaching you guys the basics to Redstone, but unlike most people, I'm going to be teaching the actual basics and try to help you guys understand exactly how Redstone works. Because if you guys can understand how everything works, then it makes it that much easier for you guys to do whatever you want with it. So I think the first thing to tell you about is Redstone. Yeah, it's the little like sugar looking thing that you get from mining underground. And what it basically is like an electrical wire in real life. This is the equivalent of like an electrical wire. Now, in order to get the electrical wire to do anything, you have to have electricity going through it. So, there's several different ways to get electricity through it. One is a redstone torch. Now what the redstone torch is it's basically a mini generator of its own, but you don't have to restore it. It has like infinite energy. So when you use a torch, redstone torch, with the redstone, then it lights it up because it's sending a signal through the wiring. Now, these two things here can do the same thing, except for they require a condition. Now, the conditions for these is something has to go on top of them. They're touch activated, like your phone. Your phone isn't just going to go and automatically unlock itself unless it's like going stupid in your pocket or whatever. But if you touch it and like a button on it or whatever, then it lights up. It's basically what this is doing. You touch it and it lights up. So, now these two are actually very different in their way that they work. Now you can activate either one of them by stepping on them. But the wooden one, you're able to throw an item on, and that will also activate it. If any item is on top of the wooden pressure plate, then it sends a signal through. With the stone one, any living thing that stands on that sends a signal through. If I go and grab the redstone like I just did and try to throw it on there, it won't work. Because it requires a heavier weight than this item. Wait a second, guys. These freaking animals are just messing up everything. They're just trying to ruin Christmas for all the little boys. But then there's these other options here, which I'm about to show you, which can send signals through as well. Which I should probably put that on this side. Okay, so you pull down this lever, and that will send a signal through for as long as it's pulled down. This is basically like a light switch in your house. You push down on the light switch, and it turns on the light. You flip it back up, light turns off. And then this is a button. You press a button, and as long as it's pressed down, it keeps a signal going through, but as soon as the button comes back out, it stops. Kind of like your controller. You press a button, it sends a signal through, and your character jumps. And then he comes back down. If you, like on here, if, let's say we're flying, if I just push down on it, that guy goes up. And he stops. If you hold it down, he just keeps going. That is the basics for those, and then here's the other source, which is the newest one, which is a tripwire, which you need two of these, one for each side, and you have to have at least one space in between them to put the wire, which is, you just use string, like from a web or a spider or whatever. You step on it. Whenever something steps on it, it sends a signal through. The signal can go to either side. But it has to be on one of the sides of the blocks. It can be on any side. Oops. There we go. See? Any side. Doesn't matter. Can even go underneath it. Okay, but that's how it works with all these. It can go and send a signal one in every direction except diagonal. This stuff cannot send any kind of signal diagonally. So if I press it here, it sends a signal up. If it's on the side, it sends a signal to the side. Doesn't matter which side. Can do it underneath. Can send it forward. Whatever. Just not diagonal. Now, the limit for how far redstone reaches is 15. Here's the 15. If you tried to put one more, you can see that it's not lit up because it's not sending a signal through. So no matter what you put at the end of this, it's not going to do anything. Now, there is a thing to help solve that problem, which is right here. It's called a redstone repeater. And the absolute furthest you can put it is 1 ahead of the 15th block. So that would be 16. See, here's the 15. This is the limit. You're able to put 1 just above that. And it'll go, what it does is it basically recharges the signal and sends it back, like forward another 15 spaces. However, it also has a delay, so the more of these you have, the slower it goes. You can make it even slower by adding more ticks to it, which you might not think is very helpful until you get into some of the redstone stuff, but is a very helpful thing to have. Go away, sheep. Now, you can go, if you want to do something like blow up TNT and want to be nowhere near it, you can be all the way back here, turn my TNT explode on, press it, and it blows up all the way out there while you're safe over here. You don't have to worry about getting hit by it. Now, this is called an inverse signal. Now, if you send any kind of, if you like press a button or, let's see, if you have a pressure plate at the top of this, if you have some kind of signal going into a redstone torch, which normally sends a signal through, if you send some kind of signal into this, then it shuts off. So I'm going to try to make that a bit simpler to understand. So if I have any redstone going into the block that the torch is on, if I have a current going through it, then it shuts it off. And a current can be anything. It could be a lever, it could be pressure plate, it could be a button, or you can even, we could even do this, where you have redstone going into the block, and that will shut it off too. Now, redstone, when you send it into a block, it will power the block in front of it. And that's it. So this is the block that is right in front of it, so that it will power that. If you put in something like right there, it won't power it, because it's not going into it. However, if you have, there are some items where, like, well, actually, if you have it like right here, right below it, that's what I mean to say, then, and you send the signal through, then you are powering the block below it here. So if you have like a torch here, power that, pushes this out. I'm gonna fill it up with that because I don't care. If you have something here, it doesn't get the signal. Redstone dust can only go down 1 and forward 1. Can't go backwards. Okay. And also, if you have a redstone repeater that goes into a block, then it powers the block in front of it and a block to the side. So if you let's see, if I go like this, it will power this block, but let's say I don't have a torch there. Let's say I have a redstone dust there. Then it will send the signal through the block and into the next area right there. And let's say that maybe I don't want to go there. Maybe I want to send it to this side. Then I can send it that side. If I want to send it this side, I can go there. If I want to send it up here, I can go up there. If I want to send it on the bottom, it can go down bottom. because it's how it works. It basically turns into like a button or a switch or whatever. It can go in any direction other than diagonal. Now, the red... Now, this is something I actually probably should show you, but if you use just plain redstone and try to send it through a block, it doesn't work, because it powers this block, but this block doesn't power this. The only thing that it will do is it will power anything that is connected to this block. This isn't technically connected. This is right next to the block. There's this, like a space between them. It's basically like this. So you can't, it's like you're trying to make the signal jump if you tried to power it through a block like this. So you always, if you're trying to get it through a block, you always want to use a redstone repeater. Now, that clicking you keep hearing is coming from this dispenser over here, which does exactly as the name says. It dispenses items, so it will go and launch out an item if you put something into it, which is where all this came from. And then and you can also in this redstone line, you don't have to just send it to one thing. You can send it to as many things as you want. You just have to make sure that it's not too many redstone lines away. So if you have to put in a repeater, make sure you put it in, because it goes through every single line through here. So if you split this one up and made it go forward that way, and split this one up, go that way, then it will go, it doesn't go straight or whatever, it will go in each direction the same amount until it runs out of spaces. So keep that in mind as well. Now, if you're a beginner, you might want to watch this video a few times just to try to wrap your head around this stuff, because it is very complicated at first. It really takes a lot of practice to get used to. But this thing right here, it's a sticky piston. It has a little green goop on it. And when you activate it, it pushes a block forward, and then it pulls that block right back out once the signal goes away. So if you had like a torch there, keeps it there forever until you get rid of that signal. And then the next one here, like, I just pressed it by accident, but what it is a normal piston. It doesn't have this green sticky goop on it. And what it does is when you step on it, it pushes the block forward, and the block stays there. Now, the only exception is if it's sand or gravel, because they have gravity, so they will fall. Like this, even though this is a sticky piston, because this has gravity, when you push it forward, it will fall. Now, sticky pistons or normal pistons don't work on everything. If you step on this, you can see it's not moving. It's because this item is too strong and heavy for the piston to push it. But there are also items such as the door here, where if you step on it, it breaks the item. So you want to be careful with how you use these. But you can see that a lot of these won't push it. And you can see that some of the animals destroyed some of this stuff already. Jerks. But yeah. You can go through, you can't use them for chests, anvils, enchantment tables, none of that. Now, another thing I'm going to show you here is the music blocks. I'm going to go through, show you what each one sounds like with each different block. Now, some of you are probably sitting there like, that doesn't sound any different through any of these. Oh, that is true. All the ones I just played through there, they all make the same sound. And these, but they don't, not every block makes the same sound. You can also adjust the way that the notes sound by just left clicking on it. It can change the pitch. and it'll keep that pitch memorized, and then you can just do it with that pitch, and then there'll be different pitches. Now, if you want to go through this video and see what the different things sound like if you want to make your own song or whatever, or some kind of specific sound, then you guys can go back through this. But that's the first sounds. Now, this is, wait a second, let me see something. Yeah. So this is something that most people don't know, but it's also a really helpful trick. If you're worried about there being silverfish in a block, then if you have like a note block, you can put it on top of the block and put like send a signal through it, and this is what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like when there's a silverfish in it. Now let me come back over here, find the normal ones. These are the normal ones you'd see. See how different it sounds? So that's a easy trick to know if something's silverfish or not. But you'll see all these make the same sound. Get out of here, sheep. And I just put 2 pieces of wool, but you can have as many pieces, like, it doesn't matter what color it is, every color makes the same sound. And then all the woods, all the different kinds of wood make this kind of sound. Now these ones you can't send the signal through, but when you can't send the signal through the block below it, so you have to send it into the note block themselves. So I had to bring it up one, but then something else I probably should have mentioned earlier. The note blocks, they make the different sounds based off of the block below them. So I'll go ahead and do these, but you can hear different sounds. But yeah, those are actually, maybe I should go to the side for you. But that is it for this tutorial. I'm probably going to do another one here soon, dedicated specifically to like tracks, to the different railroad track stuff, the rails, I mean. These 3 different rails and the different mine carts and how all that stuff works and how you can use them. And then I'm also going to do one that shows a bunch of different gates and how you can alter them and all that. But this is the very basic one. I hope it will help you out with your understanding of how this stuff works. If there's anything that I missed or anything you guys would like me to go into more detail of, just go ahead and comment about it, and I will make sure to either post a video fixing, like, going over it if it's a big enough deal, or I'll just go and comment telling you, you know, what the answer to the question. But that will be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day.